Hi, welcome to Brewing with Wilson, episode 15, Yeast Experiments. A few months ago, I brewed up 2 batches of ale that were supposed to be completed by July 1st. Unfortunately, life and work got in the way. I was unable to rack them on time. The first ale was a light cream ale with an OG of 1.041. It was made up of light LME, honey, and a bit of Crystal 10, and US-05 yeast. The second beer was a saison in which I used Pilsner malt, amber malt, honey, a bit of Vienna malt, and Crystal 40. I used Spaltz and Hallertau hops. They were brewed within 2 days of each other. My fermentation schedule was to be 2 weeks for each, after which I would rack them both to secondaries. Fermentation on both beers started quickly. I missed my scheduled racking time of 2 weeks. I checked them at the 3-week mark. The saison fermented quickly and reached a gravity of 1.018 within 2 weeks. It had cleared quickly, however. The honey flavor was very strong. For the cream ale, the honey was totally absent, despite having a greater amount of honey in the recipe. The cream ale never cleared even after 3 weeks of fermenting. I decided that I would just let them go and see what would happen as they sat on the yeast cake. I was inspired by the experiments that James and Steve were conducting on basic brewing, concerning the effects of leaving your beer sitting on yeast rather than racking to a secondary. I let both beers go for 2 months on the yeast cake. During that time we experienced a heat wave that drove the temperatures in my fermentation room up to 78 degrees. For 2 weeks, I was sure that both beers had suffered significant damage from both heat and autolysis. On Monday of this week, I tried a sample from each fermenter. The cream ale never cleared. It was still very cloudy and had no aroma whatsoever. It tasted like warm papery water. The OG was 1.001, meaning I had fermented almost all the available sugars out of the beer. So no autolysis on this one. However, there is significant oxidation present. The saison fared a little better. It had cleared nicely to a golden hue. The was OG 1.014. There was a slight spice and ale-like nose. Taste was more old ale-like than a saison. The honey taste was gone. It had some acetaldehyde and cherry-like flavors from oxidation. I actually believe, if I wanted to, I could save this one, but I don't think it is worth it. So there you have it. I was able to take some advantage of a bad situation and turned it into a learning experience. It was interesting to see how the beer reacted with the yeast over extended time and what byproducts were produced. Well, that's it for this episode of Brewing with Wilson. Till next time, brew on.